the first time we're having a couple on the show together.
Really?
I'm not very sure. Yeah, this was really the second time. I'm not sure, but we've not really actually had like a couple. And the first half is Adedoyin Olufayo's
Similola
Ajayi, entrepreneur, host of a home builders conference, and you have a quarterly virtual praise jam concerts, I believe. Right. And your husband is also in the ministry to Emmanuel Olush Soji Ajayi Ike Mani. Interesting. And you also have a passion for motivation. You're an entrepreneur too. I mean, you do a lot of things. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Nice to have you on board.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so there's a whole lot, and there's so many sides to really profile here. And in spite of a lot of what is happening all around the world, there's so much going on. But first of all, I think the most important question is a healthy home is very important to a functional society. How can that be achieved? Let me ask you first.
Okay, hello once again. How you doing? Good to be here. I would say without a healthy home, there's no home, there's no society, because I believe, it starts from the home. It starts from the parents, even before the children are born. You don't give what you don't have. If the marriage is healthy, when the kids come in, the home, the family is healthy, then we can spread. It's like a tree, like I always say, it's like a tree that spreads out, a good tree. Then the good fruit comes out of it. Absolutely. Like I always relate with, that's what God expects from us anyways, good tree produces good fruits, and it can spread around the whole world, and it helps the society at the end of the day.
Okay, let me ask you more in line with the entrepreneurship. I don't want to ask the same question I asked your wife. A lot of things are happening in society today, and majorly they say that entrepreneurship is the solution to solve some of the problems of unemployment in society, especially with the young people who don't have jobs. Everything is at a rising cost, there's inflation. So would you say that this is one sure way to maybe stabilize the society, entrepreneurship?
I mean, so we live in the United States, and I would say entrepreneurship is the bedrock of any developed nation. Of course, you need the support of the government if you're going to encourage entrepreneurship. But entrepreneurship is always a quick way to get people jobs. But you need money to be an entrepreneur, right? So in the developed nations, that's what keeps the society running. And I think that's part of what we're missing in a country like Nigeria. So it's definitely, I would say, it's the bedrock of any developed nation. And if there's any developing nation that wants to move forward, they have to, pay attention to.
Let me ask about the diaspora experience. Living, making money in the diaspora. The reality seems to be much different from here. Absolutely. Building a home in diaspora. What would you say it's like if you compare it to here in Nigeria? I don't know if you live in Nigeria at some point, or you maybe met in the diaspora, built a home in the diaspora.
No, he's been there for like 30 years. Oh. I joined him like 16 years ago when we got married.
So what is the experience? Just maybe a bit off the, but what's the experience like? If you're supposed to making money in the diaspora compared to Nigeria?
I mean, obviously, you're talking about a developed nation versus
and less developed nation. No shade to us here.
I mean, it's more opportunities in the developed nations.
Okay.
Now, I hate when I hear statements like Nigerians are lazy. They're not. Nobody's lazy. They're just not opportunities.
Yes.
Right. So create the opportunities, and you see how inspired.
What models do you think can work here in Nigeria? Because I know there's lots of online jobs, remote work, but you have a stable economy to be able to balance things. Yes. Here in Nigeria, there's no stable economy. You have so many factors. There's light, there's a lot of things. So what are those maybe models that can still work here?
Well, I think Nigeria? We need to think outside the box, right? Like in this day and age, if you are not educating yourself or knowing how to use the internet, you're already behind digitally, right? There's a digital divide. So if you're a young guy and you're not using the internet, you're not using Facebook, you're not using all this other stuff, you're already behind. So we gotta learn some of this, and then we got to create an avenue where the youth can learn how to use some of these things, because that's the world that we live in today. I mean, we have a ministry, and believe it or not, some of the things that we do, because we are mostly a virtual ministry, at least as of right now, but a lot of the things that we do, like video editing and everything, we use people from Nigeria to do the job. So we create jobs,
Nice. And I know coaching comes into some of the things that you do.
Yeah.
What are some of those things what does it come into play? How do you get the best of people with coaching?
Well, I mean, you have to see God in people, and to see and let people be themselves. Like, take a look at my wife, right? We have sort of like different backgrounds. She's more of a, as you can see, she's well dressed. That's
She's more of what?
stylish.
Okay.
Person.
She's more out there.
And since we've been married, see, I'm more from a conservative background, right? But since we've been married, I've always been after getting the best out of people. So I let my wife be. She influences me the way I dress. Like, she even right there, she was checking me out, saying, "Hey, make sure your shoes is good." Let her be. That's who she is, and she can learn from me. So it works that way. When you see the best, see the potential in people, right? And you can develop them, and it's easy to coach. It's like kids. We have four children. They're all different, right? They have different personalities. So, but when you see their potential, then you start to raise them. You don't want to create somebody for yourself, but you want to,
them up
you want to build them up in their own God-given purpose.
Okay, let me ask you, what's your experience impacting people, coaching women? Because I'm sure you're also mostly into women and young people. What's it been like?
Most of the time, I'm a woman, and even while I was young, I looked up to some women. I'll see some people, some marriages, and I'm like, heck no, I don't want this this sort of marriage. So the same way, I have some mentors, for example, while growing up. Late Pastor Bimbo Dukoya, for example, Reverend Piso Konko. I look at these people, I look at their marriage, I look at the way they are, they have it all, the way the virtue that I like, for example, all swaggered, if I can use that word, all, into God, and at the same time keeping home, keeping family, keeping things together. And I try to impact others, with that, with other women, we're not all perfect, but because I'm a woman, I have a daughter myself, and I just want to, on social media, for example, it's important the way we impact others. You'll be shocked at some people. What I realize is you'll be shocked at some people that really look up to you without you knowing, admirers.
Absolutely.
And you don't want to impact them the wrong way. So the way I carry myself, the way I dress, the things I do, I'm married, so I bring that to the table as well. So people have an idea of the way I love fashion, the way I do my fashion. I don't have to go wild to be fashionable.
I believe you have a documentary.
Yes.
So what are some of the experiences you've had relating with some of the interviewees in the course of this documentary?
It's tough. Now, I live in the U.S. A lot of the people that we're interviewing, they're here in the U.S. I have a team that they reside in Lagos, and I write all the questions, everything, what I want to say, and they just go out and shoot and record it. What I find out is that you don't really know people until you have a conversation, right, with them. We've interviewed Professor Wale Soyinka. We interviewed Professor Femi Okurum. We interviewed Wale Adenuga, WAP TV.
Nice.
It's on Tunde Kilani. The premise behind the documentary is how the society that people find themselves can impact on their purpose in life. Yeah, so that's the premise of the documentary, and it's still in the making.
Okay, I was going to say, when is it airing? Is it when is it coming?
Yeah. Hopefully by the end of this year, pretty soon. Coming soon.
Okay.
So be on the lookout.
All right. Leadership is about taking charge. Now, is it different in business and ministry? Because I also know you have the ministry side.
Yes.
There's the business side. You say it's different, business and ministry at the same time.
What do you think?
Based on your experience, because not two different people, different personalities.
Yes.
Yes, but different.
But it's I would say there's a thin line. between that, because for me, I would say it's the same,
Yeah.
but I'll use the word a thin line, because without your employees, your workers, people around you that work for you, without your nannies, for example, we're here, we have 4 children, like my husband said. If you don't take care of your nanny, we have somebody watching our children right now back in the US, and without her, we won't be here right now talking to you.
So that's partnership.
So that it's very important. The way you treat your drivers, your workers, your church members, because you're saying, oh, the ministry and business work. No, it's the same. The way you have to carry them. Actually, you carry them on first. So your business can succeed. Your ministry can succeed. Without the members of the church, there's no ministry. Without people doing well in the society, what we see these days in Nigeria, you know, and I'm sure all over the world, some places in the world as well, without them being successful, happy, we can't have a better nation. You know what I mean?
I'd like to know your views on feminism. It differs from what it is in Nigeria, but of course, living in the diaspora. What are your views on feminism first?
You want me to answer that?
Yeah, no.
Okay, you then I'll piggyback on you.
So I have to, my frame of reference would be the Bible, right? So God made Adam and Eve, right? You know that, right? So everybody has their role to play.
Okay.
And God never made the woman to be inferior to the man. Go study it. Everybody has a role. He made Adam first, then Eve. Adam could never have fulfilled his purpose without the woman. So it's really not a question of if everything were done like it was supposed to be, really shouldn't be talking about feminism. Think about it.
Stretching the conversation.
We're talking about feminism because either we've put the women.
So I see that everyone has their roles to play. One does not overshadow the other.
I do, absolutely.
What are your views on
that? Well, I would add to that.
Yes.
I'm going to add to that. Yes. Actually, the woman should be not the leader, but the way I see it in the Bible is the woman. And thank God.
She has to know her role.
She has to know her role. Don't forget your role, because they've placed you right in front. I believe anybody that wants a man or a company that wants a successful business, a home, a marriage, make sure your wife, that woman, is always up there, even before you as a man. And thank God that's how my husband rolls. He knows because we, how to put the house together, the kids.
Some people may not agree with your views.
Well, I'm sorry. I tell the men, women first. We don't even need to have the conversation because that's how God has ordained it. He said we're the helper. So that means that person is weak.
No splitting of bills. The man should take up the bills. I support him when I can.
Yes.
I don't take. I say this is mine.
So let me tell you. I tell my husband, my money is my money.
But your
money is our money, and that's how it's been. But you know what?
He's shaking his head.
Yeah, because you know that. Oh my God, this is my wife. Because yes, I'm very blunt for people that really know me, and it's the truth. You know why? Without a woman in the house, a good woman though, there's no success anywhere. We women were wired to be the soft spot. When the men are saying move, 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 the women are there to say, let's love on them, let's pamper them, let's do this, let's do that. We women should always, any man that puts a woman at the back seat, I tell you, you're getting ready to fail and to fall. So I wonder why men would, why would you maltreat your
Okay, let me just ask you how you've been able to impact the society and how you're working together as a couple, as a team to impact society.
So we've been here for a few days, and we had an outreach that we purposely came to Nigeria for. We fed over 150 people. And we just saw that, because the government you can blame everything on the government, but we have to take responsibility and do something. What can you do, right? And we fed 150 people, and while giving them food, we preached the word of God to them, and they were just open. And you can see that they were hungry. And like, my wife was just talking about, the role of women. One of the things that we do in the ministry is having an online virtual marriage seminar where we invite people, marriage experts,
singles,
just to talk to people about how to keep your home, how to treat your woman.
Speaking of that, what is that tip to keeping a home, to rekindling the romance in the marriage? Just very quickly.
I would say whatever you love doing, whatever you think your spouse loves. I love traveling, for example. I love traveling a lot. I love shopping, but I know when to not go there no more. Like, okay, this is the limit for right now. But traveling, what we love to do together, to just keep the marriage going. I know when to back off. My husband is very, like he said, I'm out there. My husband is very quiet. But I know when the limit, when to stop. I know when he loves, he's very quiet and conservative, but he's the one that would tell me, oh, baby, you need to do your hair, make it longer, so you need to understand each other. And that's how the marriage or even relationship generally can grow.
Okay.
Communication,
But
spending time together.
As a business coach, because we have to wrap up, who would you say has inspired your work and your journey?
I have a lot of mentors. I have a spiritual father. His name is Pastor Sonia Adimusi.
Okay.
He's in the U.S. I read a lot of books. I get mentorship through books. I read a lot about A.W. Tozer. I read about a lot of books on intercessory prayer because I believe prayer is important and that's the way we can change our society. So a lot of great revivals. I love to study revivals of the past, how revivals impacted the society. So I read along that lines because that's something I know that the Lord is laying upon my heart.
Just slightly very enough to what's happening in Nigeria. What do you think is important for us to know as Nigerians? The Nigerian experience. Yes. What can be done to create a change for 2023? Very briefly.
I don't want to be too spiritual.
You don't have to be spiritual about it.
But I do feel like the people, we have a role to play. And I believe the church organizations have a role to play.
Okay.
Right? It's not just up to the government. I don't think the church is doing a lot, but I feel like God is looking more to the church to impact the society. The problem is that the people in church are just as corrupt as the people in the society. We can't impact the society that way. We must draw people in if we're going to, we must be different if we're going to impact the society. They must see Christ in us if we're going to change our society. All right? So that's another thing.
All right, do you have anything to say to wrap up?
No, he said it all. I mean, not all churches though. We have some, but it takes a village, isn't it? So, yeah, so I just believe that it takes all of us. Nigeria, every time I come in like twice a year, once a year, twice a year, every year. My husband hardly comes in. But, every time I come in, my heart just my heart. This economic whatever is going on all over the world.
But it's worse. It's
worse in Nigeria.
Because of time, we need to go. Thank you so much. I mean, you've been able to give us just an overview of your life and what you're doing and how you are inspiring over there and also in Nigeria. So wish you all the best going forward.
Thank you so much.
I can't say we'll be voting because you might not be in Nigeria next year, but you're still involved with what you did, outreach. And it'll be nice to have you again on the show.
Thank you. Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All the best moving forward.
Thank
you so much. Okay, so we've had a conversation with not just guests, husband and wife, and amazing couple. We'll take a break and we still have more coming up. Big Better Nigeria updates. Yes. And today is National Girlfriend Day. So we'll stick around. More conversation coming up. Don't go anywhere.